Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the first section of the Common App, the profile section. This is where you enter your basic personal details, and while it may seem straightforward, there is a few things you need to look out for, especially if you're an international student. I'll be sharing my screen and guiding you through each part of the section, so make sure to follow along and get your application set up correctly. Let's jump right in. Alright, so once you're logged into your Common App account, click on Common App up here. This is where you'll find all the selections you need to fill out. And the first section is called Profile, and it's basically your personal information. Your name, address, citizenship details, and other basic stuff. Let's go through it step by step. Alright, with the personal information, the first thing you'll fill out is your full name. Make sure it matches exactly what's in your passport or official ID, since this is what colleges will see. If you have a preferred name or a nickname, you can enter it here, but always keep your official name consistent. Also, if you have a formal legal name, that didn't apply to me, but it might apply to some of you. Next, enter your date of birth here. Mine is the 17th of February 2004. Again, make sure it matches your official documents. Then let's move on to address. Here you'll enter your permanent home address. If you're an international student, this should be your home address outside of the United States. You'll also see a section asking if you have a mailing address and if it's the same as your home address. If you live in a different place for school, for example, or your parents are separated or something, you can add a separate mailing address. So basically where you want to have your mail sent to from the colleges, like physical mail. See, here you can say if it's a temporary address. I used to have a different mailing address, but not anymore. I was in the US for an exchange program as an au pair. That doesn't apply to me anymore, so I would just leave it out now. But back then when I applied, I had a different mailing address, so this is what it's gonna look like if you do have a different address. If not, you can just say no alternate address, and then it'll just be your main address and mailing address at the same time. Next are the contact details. You'll need to enter your phone number and email address. Use an email that you check regularly because this is how colleges will contact you, so this is really important. And for the phone number, if you're outside of the US, make sure to select the correct country code, like I did here. This is my German phone number. And if you have a US number, enter that instead. So I have two different numbers, or I used to have two different numbers, so that's why I added both of them. If you just have one, just add one. Next are the demographics. So this section is optional, but it asks you about things like your gender, ethnicity, and race. If you don't want to answer, you can simply skip it. For international students, this doesn't really affect your application much, so it's totally up to you whether you want to fill it out or not. For me, I am male. My legal sex is male too. My pronouns are he, him. I was not part of the US Armed Forces. I am not Latino, I'm not Hispanic, and I am white. I'm from Europe. So this is basically what I entered, but as I said, this part is optional, so you do not have to fill that out if that makes you feel uncomfortable. Next is a part where you can stand out, which is the language. Here, you list all the languages that you speak. So if English is not your first language, you'll need to specify how fluent you are. So first I wrote down German because that's my native language, so it's spoken at home, I can write it, I can read it, I can speak it, and it's my first language. English is not my first language, so I left that blank, and it's also not spoken at home, so I left that blank as well, but I can read, write, and speak it. And then I indicated Spanish too. I might not be the best Spanish speaker, but I'm definitely learning right now, so I also just checked speak, read, write. It's not spoken at home, and it's also not my first language. So if you're bilingual or multilingual, list all the languages you're comfortable with. That's really important because it can make you stand out from the applicant pool. The next one is geography and nationality. This is super important for international students. You'll need to select your citizenship and whether you have dual citizenship. So here, my birth country is Germany, city of birth. It's also very individual to you, very specific to you. I have already lived in the United States for 1.5 years, but at that time when I applied, it was 1 year or less. I am a citizen of a non-US country, which is Germany, so just list all the countries of citizenship. I did have a valid US visa. This is why I checked yes with do you currently hold a US visa. It was back when I applied. Almost a year ago, so it's not that up to date anymore, but that's fine. It was back then. And then I just typed in my visa number, and the date my visa was issued. But if you do not have a US visa or you never had one, then you're totally fine. You just have to check no, when it asks you if you currently hold a US visa. And do you intend to apply for a different US visa? I checked yes because I was going to apply for a student visa, obviously, if I want to study there. And I didn't have a student visa before, so that's why I have to apply for a new one. And I checked yes. And the visa type is going to be an F1 visa for students. And the last part under the profile section is the Common App fee waiver. This section lets you request a fee waiver if you have financial hardship. So if you're applying from a low-income background, you can check the eligibility criteria here and see if you qualify. So here are all the criteria. I did not meet any of those criteria, I think, so I was not eligible for a Common App fee waiver. Don't panic though, there's other application fee waivers given out by the universities. So if you do not get a Common App fee waiver, you might be able to still get a university-specific fee waiver. So you can save a lot of money when applying to US colleges, because an application fee might sometimes be $100 per university, or $80 or $60. Anyways, it's really expensive, so make sure you get at least one of the fee waivers, either from a Common App fee waiver if you meet any of the criteria shown here, or just try to get a fee waiver from the university directly. I did also not want to be connected with a UStrive mentor. I have no idea what that is, and I did not need that, so. And that's it for the profile section. It's mostly straightforward, but for international students, there are a few details you have to consider, like your citizenship and your address, that you really need to get right. In the next video, we're gonna go over the family section, the next section of the Common App that follows up the profile section, where you'll enter information about your parents, about your guardians, which is also important for financial aid and visa applications. And if this video helped you, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this Common App guide. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!